method that we used to do the cherry tree, we're gonna do a tree in the summer. I've lightly sketched the shape. I think this is an oak tree, sort of looking across the street at my neighbors. I can see this beautiful, just wonderfully green tree. So I'm gonna spray a bit in a triangle here. I wanna make sure I leave enough dry area, enough white area. So I'm gonna do it 1, 2, 3, and we'll see how that goes. I might need to spray more. And to get that beautiful green, I'm gonna mix some Winsor yellow. If you have cadmium yellow, that's really great. Just a nice, bright, warm puddle of yellow. And the blue I'm gonna use is Antwerp blue. It's a very green blue. Prussian blue is similar. You can use that as well. And make a puddle of that. These two together make, oh, look at that, beautiful, beautiful green. I'm gonna go heavier on the yellow side of it at the top here, and just touching and see where it goes. I'm trying to find that puddle of water, see where it is, make sure I'm leaving lots of white paper, leaving space for the branches and the birds. Going heavy on the yellow right here, but we're gonna add the bluer side of the green in the dark area. Okay, so here I've hit some dry spots. That's okay, I don't mind it. If the shape gets a little too strange, then I can go back in with a damp brush and change it. And as I find my other puddle of water here, so you can tell it's starting to spread, I am going heavier on the blue side of the green to get a little darker color. But we want to alternate that through. So just going back and forth. Where's my other, there we go, there's my other puddle of water. Be careful not to fill it up, okay? We want to keep space, keep room for the birds. Okay. Yeah, it's a little dry there, that's okay, I don't mind. Need to get some more puddles here. Have it connect with the wet. The parts that are dry are going to add texture too, so it's okay if you run into a dry spot. We don't need it, again, we don't want it fully filled in. We want to have room for the branches. So make sure you remember to do that. We're just dabbing around, touching in and out, getting some wet on wet, a little dry area. That's okay too. And leaving lots and lots of space. We can, it's going to be filled in with branches. Now some of these shapes where it's drier I don't love, so I'm going to take my damp brush and just sort of get rid of some of those harder edges. Maybe just like I did with the cherry, drag them out to look like they're leaves following the branches. And here in the middle too, maybe making some connections. There we go. When you connect, then you can roll it around and let the paint run into itself. And this spot over here, I want to connect that. A little water, a little too much water. Let's dry off this brush. We can soak up some of that water. And using the side of your brush, you can drag it along a little bit. Get some interesting edges. Let's connect this here and see how that's going to run. Okay. We've left a lot of spaces. I like all those white spaces. The shape is looking a little strange. So let's get some more Antwerp blue, a little more of the Winsor yellow. And this is going to be a darker mix of that. So heavier on the blue, and just get some more definition in here. Remember, the sunlight is coming from the top, so that will be lighter. In the middle of the tree where there's less sun able to get there, and underneath will be darker, so that's where I'm focusing the darker green mix. I think we need to get some over here. It's dry there, so I'm using the side of my brush to drag it along so I don't get sharp edges. Okay. That shape is a little better, but I'm just going to I'm lifting this up so you can see, and I can see. This brush is clean, it doesn't have paint on it. And I'm just going to soften some of these edges here, just touching it there, not everywhere. but just to give it that feathered look that happens so naturally over the side. Okay, all right, I think that's good. I think we'll let that dry, and then we'll go back in and do the trunk and the branches. Okay, this summertime oak has dried, and so let's do its trunk. We're going to use that burnt umber that we used for the cherry tree. Make a nice puddle of that. And the other colors were the French ultramarine, blue. Make a puddle of that. And the purple, dioxazine purple. I think that's how you say it. Okay, those 3 puddles. I'm just gonna get a little bit of everything here. I don't want it too wet. We don't have a very big trunk. So I'm starting out just trying to find where it meets up there. I'm just getting the shape. Remember, we'll go back in and get the texture after the first coat dries, I guess you could say. And I moved it slightly over. My drawing had it, I think, off to the side, and where I ended up putting most of the leaves. I'm gonna move it slightly over. Remember to, it spreads out at the bottom, the root bed there. Okay. All right, that's a good shape. I'm okay with that. Now we have some nice spots here where we can get the branches in the trunk in. Let's reapply paint, and let's sort of imagine, I think there's a nice spot here. There's going to be some branches popping right through there that we'll see. Still thickish at this stage. They thin out, remember, as they go up. So let's imagine that maybe even that branch is off, and then we can get some. Okay, I don't need to worry about that yet. I should really get these. I'll switch into the rigger brush when I do those fine branches. So, ooh, look at that nice spot there for a branch. Actually, let's switch to the rigger now before I get too thick. Same colors now in my rigger, nice and thin, holding it far back if you're comfortable doing that. And we can get, you can just do that one sort of swash of paint on this rigger and let it go for a long time, because as we go up, I like seeing popping through there. As we go up higher and higher into the tree, the branches are thinner and thinner and thinner, finer. Just having them pop through, and anywhere I see a white hole there. And also, we don't have to just do that. We can add some branch, just like we did with the cherry tree, over an area that's maybe a little bit lighter. Sure, this is going to branch that way. It'll branch this way. We can do that. That will have to be darkened up, but it's good for positioning. And that's going to continue over here. Oh, yeah, okay, we like that. Okay. Remember to keep it real fine and thin as you go up. It's almost going to be like a pencil width when you get up in here. It's okay to have some just popping, sticking out there. Oh, that's looking nice. In a tree in the middle of the summer, there's going to be not as many branches showing. In the spring, we did the cherry blossoms. It's still the blossoms, so the full leaves haven't come out yet. So you would see more branches, but in a full midsummer tree, you're going to see lots and lots of leaves and not as many branches. So let's not overdo it. Let's stop right there. The one thing I want to fill in is that we have a white space here. That would not be white. That would definitely be trunk or leaf. So let's fill that in. Okay. And the fun thing is that while we were doing the top part, the bottom part is dried enough, I think it should have, for us to add some texture. I'm going heavy on the blue and purple for this texture. We already have a nice warm brown there, so let's see. Oh, it's still pretty wet, but that's okay. So I just dabbed it there, and right underneath where the leaves meet the trunk, it's going to be a shadow, so that's really nice. But I do think I have to wait. Now that I just did that, I think I'm going to have to wait a little bit longer. Let's try another, maybe here at the bottom. Yeah. It's still pretty damp, but maybe I can, let's see what happens. I'm just touching very lightly the right side, and look at how it spreads. Ooh. Okay, let's let that dry a little bit more, and we can really go back in there. Okay, this is dried enough that I can go back in and add some more dimension to this trunk. There we go. Again, I'm just touching this darker color on top of what we did, just dabbing a little bit right under where the leaves would meet the trunk and along one side. Now, I just decided in my mind that the sun's coming from this direction, so that's going to be the lighter side. If you're using a reference photo, then you can follow along with whatever that says, but I just like this stage to make it up as we go. Okay, I like that. Nice summer tree. I'm gonna get damp brush while there's still some wetness here underneath. Start over here, catch the bottom of that, and swoop it off. That's it, that's all I'm gonna do for my base. Don't forget to sign. I've been liking signing in the color that I did the top part in, so let's remix some of that bright green. And I'm just gonna do initials. You can add the year. There we go. Summer tree done. Please follow me on Instagram, Ann P. Wirt, or on my website, www.annpwirt.com. Thanks so much for painting with me today.